Here's a rule of thumb for you. If you ever begin a rebuttal to somebody's point with the words, "Well, I just think," you're basically telling the other party that you haven't actually thought your position through. For example, if you have posted a repost to your Facebook status that reads, "Here, let me piss some people off. Thank you, Florida, Kentucky, and Missouri, which are the first states that will require drug testing when applying for welfare. Some people are crying and calling this unconstitutional. How is this unconstitutional? It's okay to drug test people who work for their money, but not those who don't? Repost this if you'd like to see this done in all 50 states. It's about time." And if somebody then points out to you that this program is actually a huge failure in Florida, that people have the right to refuse drug tests at work and or to seek other employment, that workplace drug testing is not punitive but it's for the protection of the other workers and or to reduce insurance premiums, and that the costs involved in rehabilitation, incarceration, and paying for tests which yield no results far outweigh any savings in welfare payments to casual users. If after hearing this you then counter, "Well, I just think it's wrong for people on welfare to use my tax money to buy drugs," or something similarly half-witted, it tells everyone reading that you shouldn't have a vote in how we run our civilization. Another example. If you've ever supported a politician who runs on an anti-abortion platform with the words, "You get pregnant, you should have to deal with the consequences," and if somebody points out to you that often people get pregnant as a result of rape or due to the failure of birth control, or they find out afterward that pregnancy is ectopic or otherwise a health risk, and that the consequence of which you speak is a human being that will need to be cared for by the person who would prefer they not even exist, if after hearing this information you then respond by saying something like, "Well, I just think if you play the game you should pay the piper," or something along those same dull-witted lines, understand that you've just informed your audience that you don't deserve their intellectual respect. A third example. If on the topic of capital punishment you've ever come out on the pro side with the rationale that "I have listened and read the arguments opposing the death penalty and I find that they are not at all convincing," or similar words, and if it was then pointed out to you that studies show that the death penalty is not a deterrent, that since its reintroduction in 1977, 68% of all death penalty convictions have been reversed, that it's disproportionately applied to minorities, that 113 people condemned to die have been exonerated since 1973, that those condemned to death cost taxpayers more than those convicted to life in prison, etc. And if you then come back with, "Well, I just think people who kill people deserve to pay with their own lives," or similar meaningless drivel, realize that your opinion is basically shit. I could give examples for people who support the belief that race is more than a socio-political construct. I could give examples for people who do not support the belief that race is more than a socio-political construct. Examples exist in the theological discussion, in the capitalism versus socialism debate, in the gay marriage issue, homeopathy, astrology, chiropractic, circumcision. The list is basically endless. If somebody has taken the time to note for you the reasons that your knee-jerk support of a position should be reconsidered in light of actual evidence, and the best you can do in response is to say, "Well, I just think," and then repeat or paraphrase the same half-baked philosophy the other has just lain waste to, then you are wasting everybody's time. And unless somebody can show me that this position is unfair, "Well, I just think," "Well, I just think," is a crappy comeback. Thank you.